Have you ever struggled trying to extract meaningful information from images? Maybe you need to understand the context, identify specific objects, or answer complex questions based on what you saw. Traditional image recognition often falls short in this task. But what if there was a tool that could truly read and understand your visual documents? That's where DeepSeek VL2 comes in. In a previous video, we showed you how to use DeepSeek for OCR text extraction. Today, we're putting its multimodal image analysis and question answering capabilities to the test. We'll show you how we can solve real-world problems, from analyzing complex scenes to answering complicated questions. You'll be amazed at what's possible. Let's get started. DeepSeek VL2 was released in December of 2024 and has been outperforming models from OpenAI, AWS, and GCP ever since. In this video, we'll show you how you can use this free, open source model in a Python application on your desktop, along with giving you a detailed step-by-step explanation. First, we will set up a Python environment for our application using VS Code and Conda. See our previous video for more details on how to get started with these applications. Link in the description below. We start by creating a new environment, naming it DeepSeek-AI. We use Conda Forge as a source for our packages, as it has a large selection of packages and versions. Next, to use an environment, we have to activate it. Then we install packages. We can install several at a time. This is suggested in order to get packages that are compatible with each other and avoid conflicts. We install PyTorch separately. This will take a while to install, and we need to ensure we have version 2.0.1 in our environment. Then we use pip to install some packages. These are only available from pip. Eventually they'll be available in Conda, but pip has more cutting-edge packages available. We install the transformer package from the Git repo for Hugging Face. DeepSeek models and packages are changing often, and transformers needs to be current. Then we install Xformers. Next, since we have an NVIDIA GPU card on our PC, we install the GPU or CUDA versions of Torch to handle tensor processing in GPU. Finally, we need to install the DeepSeek VL2 package from GitHub. We do this by cloning the repo, then we install the libraries that are included. We are using a Jupyter notebook in this demo, so we need to set up this environment to be available as a Jupyter kernel. Once this is set up, we can select this environment now. Click on the upper right corner and change the base kernel to DeepSeek-AI. We import Torch for processing the model. This package works with GPUs, if available, tensors, gradients, and other neural networks functions that our model needs. This code may need to run on a CPU-only box, so we detect the device to use, either CUDA/GPU or CPU, and set it accordingly. We are using the causal LM function from transformers. This library is used for loading pre-trained models, including initial configuration for that model. The Pillow library processes and manipulates images to help improve the accuracy of the model. We also use two libraries from DeepSeek models. DeepSeek VL2 processor prepares your input data and converts it to the format the model expects. DeepSeek VL2 for causal LM downloads the model to our cache directory, then interfaces with the model, both sending input and receiving output. We also load an alternate image library, but we won't be using it in this demo. You can use this later for testing different images and formats on your own. When we run this, we can see CUDA is available and will be used. The model we will be using is a VL2-tiny version, which is around 6 gigs in size. This model is fully capable of handling the images we will be processing. We tell the model what version we will be using. Then we set up a tokenizer, which is used to take plain text and convert it into something the model understands. Most NLP models are built using tokens or numerical representations of words. Next, we download the model to our local cache. This works best if you run VS Code in admin mode. As you can see, this model took about 16 minutes to download all the files. Here's the cache directory with all the models that have been downloaded, including the one we are using today. Now, we move a model to the GPU, then change the precision to save on memory, and set this to model eval mode. Eval means we are using the model for inference. We are not training the model. Here are the images we are going to evaluate in the model. They include an image of animals, one of a driver's license, and one of some people on bikes. We will be using several different prompts to demonstrate different capabilities. This is the first one we will try. The question is simple, so we expect the answer to be simple. This if-then statement is used to process either 1 or 3 images at a time for this demo. One of the cool things about this model is that you can send as many images as you want in one call and ask questions about them individually, or you can ask the model to use all 3 images for the same question, such as in a comparison or a contrast question. The first example will be for one image only. Note the format for the image string variable. This is very important to get this right. Otherwise, the model may get confused about what image you are referring to. We set the variable to true, then run the cell. Next, we set up the message to send to the model with a special format as shown. We use the image string variable here in the content section. Then we load the images and text into a transformers processor to prepare them for our interaction. Also, we move the model over to the GPU to run there, if we have one. This will speed up our application. Here, we are encoding our inputs to convert this into something our model can understand. The last few steps perform tokenization, transforming the model, and more significantly, combining the modalities for our multi-mode model. Now we are ready to run the model. This will take a while to process. We don't want to calculate gradients. They are mainly used for training the model. We are running a pre-trained model. We set the number of new tokens to 4096, which should be enough for processing a few images. Once we get the response from the model, we need to convert the output back into text. And finally, we print out the portion of the response that contains the answer to our questions. The response contains some details about the image, along with the animals it found. This is a summary type of answer. We could ask it for more details by changing our question around a little. Okay, now we go back and change the code. This time we'll run our model on all 3 images at the same time. This will take more time and resources. We asked the same question as before, but this time we got 3 answers, one for each image. These are the images versus what the model told us. Everything looks good so far. For the rest of the questions, to make this quicker, we will run them from a normal Python script. We will be providing a GitHub repo with our code. The format's a little different. We are using a main function now. We comment out the other prompts and uncomment this one. You need to be very clear in the way you format your question so you get the best answer possible. It may take some trial and error to get this to work out the way you want. In this example, we are asking 3 questions, 1 per image. We run the code and wait for the model to give us a response. This one took 45 seconds. The server we are using has a basic GPU card with only 8 gigs of memory. A better card, or even an array of cards, will run much faster. Okay, the answers look correct and concise. We added a Python decorator to show how long the code takes to run. This is how to import it and use it yourself. Now, we ask a different set of questions. This time there are 6. We give it a format for the answer to give us to make this easier to read. First, we asked it to describe the first image. Then we ask the model where does it think the image was taken. Next, we ask for the name and if it is expired. Then we ask how many men and women are in the image and the color of the flowers. Here are the answers. They look correct. Checking on the next 2 questions, we can see the answer matches with the driver's license. This took a little longer to run, 60 seconds this time. The time to run is also affected by how many questions and how complicated they are. Now, we're going to ask the model to find the correct image out of a list. You could use this if you have a lot of photos to search for a specific photo based on what you remember was in the photo. So we ask the model to find the correct image based on these 3 criteria. We get the right answer again. Awesome. Hopefully we have shown you how useful the DeepSeek VL2 AI model vision can be, both in your personal life and at work. Visit our channel to see more videos on how to use AI models for image vision and for OCR text extraction. Here are some of them. Link is in the description below. Okay, that's all we have for today. Thanks for watching our video. As always, questions and comments are welcome. See you next time.